I feel like boards are literal arts and crafts.
Yeah, like literally this blank canvas that you have to like design. What's up? It's Kat and Deb from Two Market Girls. Welcome back to another vegan recipe, and today we are pretty bored. No, we're not bored, but we did make some boards, eh?
Oh, that was horrible.
Okay, so in honor of, I guess, Mother's Day, or just, you know, wanting to make some fun dessert, we made dessert boards.
Yeah, honestly, like, boards are one of my favorite ways to eat. Like, if I could put my meal onto a board in some way, I'm gonna do it. So I figured, why not bring this energy to TMG a little bit more?
I feel like boards actually stop you from getting bored.
Yeah, because it's like art. Like, you know how you were talking about, you've been mentioning that like cakes and like decorating has been like your arts and crafts? I feel like boards are literal arts and crafts.
Yeah, like literally this blank canvas that you have to like design.
I'm telling you guys, this is like, it's like therapy.
Yeah. So what kind of board did you make?
So my general theme was a cinnamon bun board. So I made some cinnamon rolls, put some toppings on the board with some icings. It's delicious.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a sweet and salty themed board. So everything is either sweet or salty.
So no real theme, just if it's sweet or salty, it made it onto the board.
And I mean, I think they all go together. Like there's a cohesive, it's not like totally random.
I think the board looks great. I've seen it, it looks delicious.
Thanks. So I think we should probably just get into these boards, but be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future vegan recipes. And without further ado, it's gonna be, let's get bored.
Let's get on board.
That was so good.
To make your vegan cinnamon roll dessert board, we're first going to start off by making our cinnamon rolls. So to do this, we're going to do a quick little vegan hack and make them out of Pillsbury crescent rolls. They're accidentally vegan here in Canada, but be sure to read the labels where you are, just to double check. So we're going to use Pillsbury crescent rolls grands. Roll out a sheet of that and make sure to pinch together all the seams. Then we are going to spread on a thin layer of some vegan butter, sprinkle that with some brown sugar and some cinnamon, and then roll it tightly just like you would a cinnamon roll. Then you're going to slice that into 12 even cinnamon rolls, pop that into a muffin tin, and then place that in an oven preheated to 375 for about 15 to 20 minutes depending on your oven. But you just want them to be a nice golden brown. Then we're going to prep some icings for our board while they bake. To make our cinnamon roll icing, you're first going to start off just by combining some icing sugar with some non-dairy milk and mixing it until you get a nice, smooth, slightly thick consistency. We're going to pour that into one of our little glass jars, and then to the second one, we're going to make the same thing again, some icing sugar and some non-dairy milk. But this time we're going to add just a little bit of raspberry jam to give that a nice pink hue and a delicious raspberry flavor. We're going to add that to a second glass jar, and then once our cinnamon buns are done and out of the oven, we're going to pop them out of the muffin tin and place them onto our board however you would like. And then to your board, you're going to add on your icings as well as any toppings that you want. So you can use anything you want here. I put on some chopped Oreo cookies, some vegan Fruit Loops, some cinnamon toast crunch, vegan cinnamon toast crunch. The name brand ones of these aren't vegan, mainly the Fruit Loops and the cinnamon toast crunch, so you'll have to find an off-brand one that is. And then I added some nuts, some raspberry jam, and some sprinkles, but you can do whatever toppings that you want.
To make our sweet and salty dessert board, you're going to start off by making the chocolate pudding. So to a small saucepan, you're going to combine non-dairy milk, cornstarch, cocoa powder, and sugar, and mix that all together really thoroughly until it's completely combined and there's no lumps, especially from the cornstarch. You want to make sure it's all smooth and combined. Once it is all smooth, you're going to cook it over medium heat, and you want it to just come to a boil. And you're going to keep whisking it as you go. Once you start noticing it kind of starting to boil and starting to thicken, then you want to turn down the heat and whisk it constantly for about 30 to 60 seconds. You should see it really start to thicken and kind of start to form a pudding consistency. Once it has thickened, then you completely remove it from the heat, and you're going to add in some vanilla extract and some chopped dark chocolate, and just stir that in until the chocolate has all melted into the pudding. And then you're going to add that to a dish or a jar, whatever you're going to be storing it or serving it in, and you're going to leave it in the fridge for a couple hours to set. If you leave it covered, then you will avoid getting a film over it, but if you do find that there's a little bit of a film while it's sitting in the fridge or after you take it out, just mix it really well with the whisk when you take it out, and it'll get back to its smooth and silky consistency. Next up, we're going to make the cinnamon sugar twists. So you're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're going to take one package of the Pillsbury country biscuits. You're going to take all the biscuits out of the package, and you're going to cut each biscuit in half, and then you're going to roll it out into a thin log. And then you're going to brush each log with some melted vegan butter and then toss it in some cinnamon and sugar. Then you're going to fold the log in half and kind of twist it. Make sure it's pretty tight so it doesn't come undone. And then you want to just seal the bottom by pressing the dough together. You're going to place those on a lined baking sheet and bake them for about 10 minutes or until they look golden brown. Then to make the marshmallow dip, you're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and in a small oven-safe dish, you're going to add some chopped dark chocolate, and then you're going to top that with some vegan marshmallows. You pretty much want to cram as many into the dish as you can fit, and then you're going to bake that in the oven until the marshmallows are soft and gooey and they've got kind of like a golden top and the chocolate is melted. Now, depending on which dish you use, you might not be able to broil this to get the really golden color. My dish was not broil safe, so I couldn't broil it to get the more golden color, but it still got cooked enough. And then the only other prep you might want to do before you assemble the board is if your peanut butter is a little bit too hard for dipping, you can just microwave it for about 20 to 30 seconds and that should soften it up so it's easier to dip everything in. So give it a stir as soon as it comes out of the microwave. I also added in just a little bit of the chocolate pudding, and I kind of swirled it around with a toothpick just to make it look a little bit fancy. Now, to assemble your board, you're going to start by placing each of your dips. So the marshmallow dip, the peanut butter dip, and the chocolate pudding dip, which I also sprinkled some Oreo crumbs on top of. That's completely optional. If you have them, feel free to add it, but I thought it would add some nice texture. Then you're just going to start laying all the things around the dips. So I started with the cinnamon sugar twists, and then some pretzels, some Ritz crackers, which are vegan here in Canada, some plain Ruffles chips. I took some accidentally vegan waffle cones and broke them into pieces and placed those on the board, and some mini Chips Ahoy cookies. The mini ones are vegan here in Canada. Some pieces of vegan chocolate, and finally I added some sliced strawberries and banana for a little bit of color and freshness. And you're done! Dessert on a board! Okay, I will say with mine, like a lot of foods, best served fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree mine is probably breast. Mine is probably best served fresh too, but not as probably as Devin's is. I can't speak.
Just because like my peanut butter dip has now hardened again, so not as dippable, and the marshmallows are also pretty
firm,
solidified, but still delicious.
Peanut butter dip is now a peanut butter brick.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put something together. So here's my little cinnamon roll.
So cute.
Gonna make
I don't even know what to start with. Also, I bought accidentally vegan waffle cones and put the pieces on the board.
Yes.
Waffle cones are so good.
They're so good. I love waffle cones. So like, is yours like in a classic sense of like you have things that are crackers and then things that you can top on top of crackers?
Kinda. Because I feel like the essence of the board is inspired by the fact that I really like to eat Ritz crackers and pieces of chocolate, just like this.
Yeah.
And so I thought, what can I expand on that? What other things? I mean, because like chocolate and pretzels is really good. And that's what I went off of.
That's it. Look at my cinnamon roll with sprinkles. Heaven.
That's so cute.
All right, let's eat this.
Okay, I made these cinnamon sugar twists.
Ooh, with what?
Well, I know you used Pillsbury for yours, right?
Yeah.
I used the country biscuits. And I rolled them out into twists.
Wow, look at that.
Dipped in the chocolate pudding. It's a good time.
Pillsbury, sponsor us already.
Yes.
So let's talk about dessert boards. What would you put on your dessert boards? Because we had other ideas too. We talked about like doing a cupcake board where it was like a build your own cupcake type thing. We also talked about something else and I don't remember what it was.
Oh, did we talk about a s'mores board?
Oh yeah. We talked about doing a s'mores board. Or like a chocolate fondue type thing or something along those lines. There's so many possibilities and we want to know what you guys would come up with.
Yeah, and because honestly, it's such a fun thing. Like we said at the beginning, it's such a fun thing to put together. And like whether or not you can share this with your mom or whoever you'd want to share it with, you could almost send them a kit to build their own board. And then you can both enjoy your boards wherever you are.
I love that so much.
Right? Wouldn't that be so fun?
Oh my goodness, that's such a good idea.
Both of these recipes will be linked in the description box below for you to try them out. There's also a link to our podcast. It's called Camera Eats First. Comes out every Monday, everywhere that you get podcasts. We talk about veganism, how we make our recipes, how we run our blog. We talk about trending news topics. We talk about food movies. It's a lot of fun, so go give it a listen. There's also a link to our Patreon community. Our patrons are a lovely group of people who help support the work that we do, and in exchange, we give them some bonus content, and we really, truly appreciate their support. If you're able to support us in that way, we appreciate it, but if not, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share it with somebody else who you might want to get on board. I love that.
Oh, Devin.
Oh, can we have board puns in the comments too?
Like,
Obviously.
again, it's even if we don't mention it in a video, always fill the comments with puns.
Always.
Alrighty. We gotta keep eating these, or not, because I'm so full.
Chocolate and strawberry.
Oh my god, yeah, that is the one thing I'm missing from my board that I wish I had bought, is fruit. I need some freshness on this board.
Honestly, when I was thinking of mine, I was like, everything's gonna be a shade of brown again.